Welcome back. Today we're doing a towing test with the new 2024 Ford Ranger Raptor, and this is our first maiden voyage with it, with the camper behind us. There's a couple of things that I really like and a couple things that I don't really like. But first, I need to make a cup of coffee. We are putting it to the test today. We've got a big grade to climb here before we drop into Horseshoe Bend. I don't know exactly the elevation or how long it is, but I will put that information right down there. And I realize that it's probably hard to take me seriously in these glasses right now, but I'm going through a little bit of a midlife crisis, so I'd appreciate a little bit of leeway on that. Anyway, our camper that we're towing behind us is a 23-foot Sportsman. It's all aluminum, and it comes in at a dry weight of 3,060 pounds. It is 9.5 foot tall by 7.5 foot wide, and it tows really nicely behind this. I think it's a sweet spot. We do have it loaded with water and all the other gear right now. Our water tank adds 166 extra pounds, so I would guess that we are towing probably right around 4,800 pounds back there right now, and I don't know how much the distribution hitch will affect that tongue weight, if any, but it definitely puts that weight where it needs to go. It's towing great. The power is amazing right now. Fuel consumption, we just topped off at the bottom of the hill, and we just got started up it and reset it, recalibrated. So we've gone, only a few miles. We've gone 16 miles with it since we recalibrated the trip odometer. We are getting 8.1 miles a gallon, but we are going up a very steep hill, and we're going 60 miles an hour.
Like a champ.
Just wanted to jump in real quick and state that MPG was taken at the very beginning of the trip when we were traveling straight up a mountain. Later on, I did manage to get a clip at the end of the trip that shows our total distance traveled as like 129 point something miles at 11.5 miles per gallon. So that was the overall 11.5. It's respectable. Temps are holding steady. Everything's looking good so far. There we just had a little bit of a downshift. I am in tow haul mode, which puts you in the 4 auto. It's kind of nice to have that little bit extra stability, a little bit more traction instead of just putting power to the rear. I really enjoy the lane assist on this, especially when towing. It's pretty subtle. It keeps you where you need to be, but it doesn't jerk the wheel around. It doesn't scare the crap out of you, even though you should be paying attention, which, we do. But every now and then you get a weird wonky paint line in the road that isn't supposed to be there or something, and the truck just kind of misreads it, and that can be terrifying in other vehicles. But in this one, it's pretty subtle. One thing that I did notice, especially when you're in the tow haul mode, is the GPS system really pays attention to the speed limits. Like right now, I'm getting I went 61 miles an hour instead of 60, and it started beeping and it's cutting power. If I want to resume accelerating, you really have to mash that pedal to the floor. And this is a great opportunity for me to use my trailer brake that's built in right down here, so you can see. And the truck is doing great downshifting. I'm going to apply a little trailer brake here. Very steep grade. We've got 3 runaway truck ramps on the side of the road, if that tells you anything. But if you've never seen a runaway truck ramp, it's basically a giant gravel pit off to the shoulder. You do have the ability to manually shift using the paddles as well. So between the more aggressive shift of the truck in tow haul mode, the paddles, and the trailer brake system, it tows really nice. The Jeep Gladiator has about a 2,000 pound higher towing capacity, but it's also a foot longer wheelbase, and you definitely feel that foot long. You definitely feel the foot long. When you hop over to this shorter wheelbase truck, it kind of throws you side to side a little bit more, and you get a little bit more squat. We do have a blue aux weight distribution hitch on currently, which helps a ton with the side to side especially, and with the squat. Noticeably different with that on here. By default, when you switch over into tow haul on this, it puts your suspension in the normal mode, but you also have the option to put it into sport mode for suspension. And I'm not sure if that's going to stiffen it up a little bit more or if it's going to loosen it up a little bit more. So I might have to try that later. But it tows really, really nice. There's plenty of power. I will say that this is far more powerful than the Jeep. The Jeep, really have to watch temperatures on this hill, especially the transmission temperature on it. On hot days like today, I think it's 91 degrees out right now. 2 days ago, it got up to 107. So when you're towing with the other vehicles, you really have to pay attention to those temperatures. I feel like on this one, it does a really good job at keeping things cooled down, especially with that giant radiator going up there. Not really worried about that.
Feels pretty good. It seems pretty smooth to me. It's like
squishy.
It's a little bouncy, but like I don't think it's like really obnoxiously bouncy.
Yeah.
Like I guess I just assume, or I just accept that we're towing, so it's not going to be as smooth a ride as it typically is in here, and it's fine. It's not obnoxious.
It does still handle really nicely and corners really nicely. You don't feel a whole lot of roll and lean. It feels like it hugs the road a lot better than some of the other vehicles that I've towed with. It feels very planted. Like I said, it's towing really nicely and we're not overheating. Everything is going smooth and we have plenty of power. Overall, very impressed by the way it tows. Love the trailer brake. Love it. Because the mirrors, they're not like towing mirrors, but they're nice. They're good sized. But when you put a blinker on, watch what happens when I turn my blinker on. It gives you the side view of wherever you're going to be turning.
So cool.
Love that feature. It just makes it a little bit easier to navigate some of those blind spots. It is a little bit more difficult on the screen to gauge how far away another vehicle is. So don't bank solely on that, but use it as a guideline. If you can't see something behind your trailer, like this actually has a little bit better view than what your mirror provides. So it is just a little bit wider angle. Nice feature. Another fun feature is in the menu, it has a towing safety check. So you can go into the menu and it'll run you through. Did you check to make sure that your trailer legs are up? Did you make sure your chains are hooked? Do you have power connected to your trailer? Does your trailer have brakes? We should test those. Does it have lights? Let's also test those. Just runs you through this really cool checklist of safety items that need to be checked off for everyone on the road. And I think that's really responsible, and I know that there are things that I've forgotten. I've done walkarounds and I've walked by things that should not have been walked by. So I think it's a really handy tool to have. Just before you get on the road, you run through that list, and if you get in an accident, it's all Ford's fault.
We've seen people driving with their power cord dangling
power cords, dangling chains, starting fires behind rigs, emergency brake cord not attached appropriately or at all. Okay, well, just learned something new. We figured out that there's this little LIM button over here, which I'm assuming is an abbreviation for limit. It kept flashing 55. It would not let us go above that, even though the speed limit had changed to 65. So it just kept flashing. I'm like, what is going on? Where's the setting for this limit thing? And it's right here. It's right on the steering wheel. If I turn it on, it'll bring it back. And it won't like going above 55. It'll let you throttle out of things on emergency situations, but you really got to mash it. So this little button right here, you just probably should read the manual. But if that's happening to you and it keeps flashing LIM 55 green in your face the whole drive and you have no power, it's that little button right there. Let me know if you have any questions down in the comments below. Hope this was helpful for you. If it was, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Do all the things. See you next time.